Fred, and welcome to this week's edition of WorldView.
And I'm Libby. This week our lead stories deal with a country in the Middle East that is dealing with great turmoil. Syria was created after World War I as a colony of France. It won its independence in 1946. For the past 41 years, the country has been ruled by two dictators, Bashar al-Assad and his father. Tens of thousands of Syrians have risen up against al-Assad's brutal regime.
This week, the Arab League asked the United Nations to send peacekeeping forces into Syria. The League is trying to persuade Syria's government into ending the widespread violence. Also, the League has decided that Syrian National Council would not adequately represent the Syrian people. President al-Assad has refused to cooperate.
The leader of the terrorist group, Al-Qaeda, has expressed support for uprisings in Syria against President Assad. The leader, Zawahiri, has asked Muslims from neighboring countries to give aid to the anti-government rebels. Zawahiri has described Assad's regime as bad and harmful and must be overthrown.
Tensions rose between Western nations and Syria early this week. Two men associated with the Syrian embassy in Germany were arrested by German police and accused of spying on opponents of President al-Assad. Earlier, the foreign minister of Germany gave three Syrians, 2 men and a woman, 3 days to leave Germany. The German press reported that the 2 men were not diplomats but worked closely with Syrian embassy officials to spy on people in Germany opposed to the al-Assad government.
Almost a year after the revolution in Egypt, the Egyptian people still are not satisfied with progress towards a democracy. Since Hosni Mubarak has stepped down from his role as a military commander, the government is in the hands of a military council. Life in Egypt still has not changed very much. There have been very large amounts of censoring involving the press, blogs, and the media. Protests have continued and protesters have been arrested.
Sudan and its rival, South Sudan, have been locked in a dangerous game of brinkmanship over billions of gallons of oil located on land along the border that divides the two countries. Oil tankers have been seized and oil wells have been shut down. This conflict comes after decades of peace. After pressure from the United States, Russia, and China, the two sides have agreed to a vague non-aggression pact. Many people, however, feel there is a better way to solving this issue.
Greece has been in a major debt crisis for the past few months. The country needs help from the International Monetary Fund before March 20th to meet their debt requirements of 14.5 billion euros. The Greek parliament has passed a bill cutting out 3.3 billion euros in wages, pensions, and jobs. Thousands of Greeks are unhappy with the plan, and there has been rioting all over Greece. The rioters have burned some historical buildings.
India, a major power and a very close friend to the United States, this week praised the United States for its relations with India, while defending their purchase of Iranian oil. This comes at a time when Western powers have boycotted oil purchases from Iran in hopes of stopping its development of a nuclear bomb. In defense of its purchases, India says that it would be difficult to switch suppliers because many refiners were built to specifically refine for India.
A court in Saudi Arabia has agreed to hear 2 lawsuits by women who are challenging the ban on women driving in this Muslim country. Women in Saudi Arabia started protesting for the right to drive 22 years ago, but have not been successful. The women claim that this law puts a burden on them by making them spend great amounts of money a year on drivers. There are no laws banning women from driving, and King Abdullah has said he does not see anything wrong with it.
Two new nuclear reactors will be built at a nuclear power plant in Augusta, Georgia. $4 billion have already been spent on digging foundations and building water pipelines. The approval for the reactors has taken over 4 years, although they do not have to abide by the safety rules made after the Fukushima disaster. The reactors will be airplane and earthquake-proof. With the new addition of the 2 reactors, the Augusta power plant will be the largest in the world. The reactors will be up and running by 2016. Ruthie has our Summit Sports News.
Hello everybody! The winter sports season just ended. Every team did a fantastic job and represented Summit well. The 6th grade boys basketball team had an undefeated season. The 6th grade girls basketball team went 7-4. JV girls were 8-11 and JV boys were 10-9. Varsity girls were 16-4 and varsity boys were 16-4 as well. The swimming team had a great second year and Lifetime Sports had a fun season. Make sure that you have already signed up for spring sports. If you haven't, then you need to do it soon because spring is right around the corner. Thanks everybody. Now here is El Tiempo Aguilas.
Buenos días, amigos. Yo me llamo Justino.
Y yo me llamo Ignacio. Bienvenidos al programa El Tiempo Águilas. Este es pronóstico para el fin de semana.
Buenas, la temperatura alta es de 54 grados. Va a estar parcialmente salido. Sábado, la temperatura alta es de 52 grados. Va a estar parcialmente nublado. Domingo, la temperatura alta es de 53 grados. Va a estar nublado.
¡Qué bien! Necesito llevar una chaqueta, camisa, pantalones, calcetines y zapatos. Es todo por ahora. Adiós.
Now here's Josh with the weather in English.
Hello everybody, I'm Josh, Director of Weather Services for WorldView. This weekend's weather is sunny on Saturday and rainy on Sunday, with temperatures in the low 30s and the highs in the mid-50s. Now for our cities of the week. Our first one is Washington, D.C. because President's Day is coming up. Washington will have clear skies and rain over the weekend, with temperatures in the low 30s and the highs in the 50s. Our second city of the week is Guatemala City, where they will have sun and thunderstorms over the weekend, with temperatures in the high 70s. I don't know about you, but Guatemala looks nice to me. Now, back to our anchors.
Thanks, Josh. Have a good time in Guatemala. Join us again next week.
Thanks to this week's WorldView crew from the 4th period World History class. Thanks also to Mr. Heitman. Goodbye and have a great weekend.